yes, we all have that one special first, a special somebody we got to sit in their loving, warm embrace. Our cherry popper, if you will. Our very first video game console! What the hell do you think I was talking about? So, what was the very first video game system that you ever got to play? That special system that helped get you into gaming, that helped you go and understand the wonderful world of video games. Oh yeah! Now I feel like I'm cutting some kind of WWE/WWF promo. Need to get like the Macho Man hat and glasses on. I'm like, oh yeah! For me, my very first video gaming experience was on the Nintendo Entertainment System. All 8 glorious bits. That system has meant the world to me, and I've long considered to be one of the best video game consoles of all time. Figure, that was the system that brought back the gaming industry from the brink of extinction. That system introduced us to the world of Nintendo. I mean, sure, Nintendo existed long before the NES was ever a fucking thing. You know, it was like a fucking trailblazer. It was a pioneer. It gave us some of the best franchises in the entire world. I mean, it gave us Super Mario Brothers. It gave us Legend of Zelda. It gave us Metroid. It gave us Castlevania. It gave us Metal. I mean, there's so, not Metal, but Metal Gear. Though the system's pretty goddamn fucking metal if you ask me. But genuinely, this system is one of the most important in the entire world. I would never have known who the fucking Blue Bomber is, Rock Band, Mega Man. I would never have known if it wasn't for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Came bundled with Rob, because they were trying to go and sell this shit as something that was more than just a video game system. They were trying to sell it as kind of like a toy. Sort of. Rob the Robot. I've still never gotten to use Rob the Robot at all. Never got to play either games that he had compatible for him. Never in my entire life. When I got it, it came with Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt. So I got that system. Here's my story of it. When we got a Nintendo, my parents hooked this thing up. I've never experienced a video game before, okay? And I'm only a couple years old. So, never experienced a video game system. They hook this up, and then they leave. And they're like, don't touch that. Of course I'm going to! I mean, this is fucking brand new! So to me, this looks like a VCR, so I kinda get the basic gist of it and just put 2 and 2 together, because you don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to figure out, you stick this thing inside that thing, and then you get a whole bunch of fun. And that could be taken a whole lot of different ways, so what are we gonna go with? So, I put the Super Mario Brothers / Duck Hunt, and I'm like, alright, so we got that. And I pick up the controller, I have no fucking clue what to do. Just press the button, and then all of a sudden, I'm playing Super Mario Brothers. And there's that little guy. There's Super Mario there. And I don't know what to do. I just press forward, and then he walks. I made this little man move. I got to play God. Yes! Yes! I'm God! My first taste of godlyhood! And I pressed a button, and he jumped! Yes, you'll do everything I say! I am the puppet master! It was fantastic stuff. And then I went on to my reign of world domination, and here I am with my YouTube channel, which is still fledgling by comparison to so many others out there, so I guess world domination would have been a much better pursuit for me. It seemed like I did a lot better. Because I at least got to make that little man move and run and jump, man, it's so much better. But playing that, first Goomba killed me. And most embarrassing and sad shit, but I can say this, that first Goomba in Super Mario Brothers has killed more people than any other enemy in the entire world. That has killed so many, because just... And that's it, you just fall off the face of the fucking earth. That's it. All the fucking happy little clouds and happy little fucking shrubs in the background, they don't give a shit less. Yes, we can go and summon the fucking power of Bob Ross right there and happy little trees and shit. But eventually, I started figuring out, I'm like, okay, so you jump over them. Oh, and then you jump on them? Holy fucking flatten them! This is like Looney Tunes and shit. I love Looney Tunes growing up, still do today. Always will. So, got to flatten them. I'm running and jumping all over the place, and then I got the mushroom. I was like, holy fuck, now I'm big! So this experience for me was amazing, and naturally I was slick enough to go and turn this off before my parents got home, got to put the game back. though they got to see that the controller was out of place and the cart wasn't exactly where it was, so they knew, but they didn't yell at me. But I was trying. I was trying to be slick. Just failing terribly. But I was only a couple years old. Fuck off. I tried. But then getting to play Duck Hunt, get to pull out the gun. The NES Zapper! It's the gun. Come on, everybody consider it the fucking gun. And just shooting at the screen and fucking giving the dog the finger when, you know, parents aren't around because they're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, oh, I was trying to point to him. And I was mouthing, how are you? Nah? And then you get your ass paddled to fucking, like, absolutely no end. So after getting your ass blistered for going and telling the Duck Hunt dog to go fuck himself, which, hey, right here, got that amiibo. Look, I deep down inside, I have love for this dog and the fucking all the ducks that you shoot the living shit out of. Which I still want to play the arcade version of it. But the NES, man, that was just such a big deal to me. Everybody I knew ended up having an NES system. You know, it was just everybody had one or knew someone that had one. Like, I didn't get to grow up with something such as a Sega Master System or TurboGrafx or anything like that. I wish. Those would have been fucking amazing. I had a Nintendo. And most people would just call it a Nintendo, and it was always hilarious when they were like, oh, those Nintendo tapes and shit. I'm like, oh yeah. But Castlevania was one of my all-time favorite series on there. Hard as shit. I mean, holy fuck, was that a terrifyingly difficult series. Especially number 3. I could beat number 1. I never beat number 2. I couldn't beat number 3. I tried. I fucking tried so often. And it's kind of like Ninja Gaiden. I could beat Ninja Gaiden 1. But I couldn't beat 2, and nobody can beat 3. I don't think there's a fucking ending to 3. That is too fucking hard to beat. It just, God, there's so many sexual innuendos being tossed into this, but mine's always in the gutter, so you shouldn't be surprised by that. But playing shit like Paperboy, I remember getting my fucking ass chewed the fuck out. Because I traded Paperboy for the big Krang, you know, the one that you could, like, his big robo suit and shit. Yeah, I traded that. Yeah, that wasn't my Paperboy to trade away, that was my mom's. Okay. I got into so much fucking trouble for that shit. Oh man, was it bad. But I remember playing so much on there and enjoying myself. You know, I remember getting high scores in Rad Racer, for example. Even like the 3D glasses and shit was like, wow, that's amazing. I never grew up with the Power Glove. You know, my family didn't have that much money. We had to go and scrape and save and shit for that. And we were always renting our Nintendo games from the local grocery store. Eagle Video. Somebody out there has to know what the fuck Giant Eagle? It's somebody, many people, maybe, probably. Someone will at least comment, like, I know about that. But over there, I have everything. Okay, so beyond renting shit, I had other gems and classics, such as Friday the 13th! Yes, I played the shove. Look, I grew up in a household where horror movies were always watched. All the fucking time. So I got to see Jason Voorhees come out. I remember fighting his fucking mom, being so pissed off because I've never killed her. Even to this day, I've still never bested her. She always just owned the shit out of me. It was just like, damn. Only a few times I get some of the best weapons in the game. I don't think I've ever gotten the pitchfork. So there is that, which kind of fucking sucks. But eventually I'll go back through it. After I had seen the one speedrun of it, Nightmare on Elm Street, that's another one. I grew up playing that. And, you know, after seeing the AVGN reviews, I was like, holy fuck, those games, yeah, they're not that great, but I still love them. Like, I actually think they're pretty good games. If you look at certain aspects of them, they're pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, honestly, they are. And I had mentioned Paperboy on there. Well, guess what? I played the fucking shit out of the Tetris. That was something else. Oh my god, my mom would always whoop my ass in Tetris. Nobody could beat her. Nobody. It's like, it's ingrained into their DNA to be good at Tetris. Maybe all puzzle games for that matter. I just couldn't. And I mean, I was the best at video games out of everybody. I beat my brother, beat my sister, beat all, nobody could fucking touch me. The very first game that I mastered was Super Mario Bros. 3. And I learned to master that thanks to going to my uncle and all of his friends. They were all bikers. They were in an actual biker gang, along with my other uncles who had passed away before I was born. They were all in a big biker gang. Big fucking burly, manly, will fuck you up and end you type dudes. And we won't talk about criminal activity, but they were all very loving and honestly good people, and they taught me all the fucking ins and outs of Super Mario Bros. 3, so much so that they had a cutoff point for them, pretty much, because they had only gotten so far. Well, I surpassed that, and I started figuring out all the secrets, knew where all the warps were, knew where all the hidden blocks, knew everything. And it was just one of those games I loved the shit out of. You know, I love Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. I still remember playing through Metroid and being like, this is so amazing. It was like a little sci-fi adventure. I had never seen some shit like that before. Hell, my very first shoot 'em up was 1942. I remember playing that a whole ton. And it made me love the genre. Granted, I'm still not exactly the best at the genre, because, I mean, bullet hell games, all sorts of other shit, you're just like, oh my god, why? Why is this so fucking bad? Why do they have to do this? Why? You know, Nintendo Power, for example, that goes hand in hand with your NES. Anytime that you want to know some shit, Nintendo Power, you had to have the power. I mean, I grew up being more of like an EGM person, and then I upgraded and became a game fan / PSN person. But Nintendo Power, that was where it was at. You know, you had to go and get those guides. You had to go and get those passwords. You had to go and learn those codes. I mean, the first time that I played Contra, I loved the shit out of it. A lot of times, I would just consider it Rambo. You know, I know that there's like aliens and shit, but that's how I viewed it. When you're a little kid, you're just like, oh, I'm Rambo. I'm running around shooting shit. I'm Rambo. That totally makes sense. And it was. To me, it truly was. Like, oh, this is fucking great. You know, maybe a little sprinkle of fucking Commando in there as well, because we gotta have Schwarzenegger and Stallone together. But that to me was just, it was fucking awesome, and it was amazing. You know, I grew up, I was playing Dick Tracy. Dick Tracy, which is a great premise, terrible execution in certain aspects. I never got super far in that game, but I tried. I always tried. And I don't think I ever got to, like, the second case, or third case, or some shit. I know that I didn't get super far, but I would always make the attempt. I would just fail miserably. And I'm like, well, that was fun. All my box NES games sitting over there, all the cartridges are sitting over there. Okay, right here. All the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. Okay. I grew up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles everything. I have the fucking actual figure sitting up there with the Splinter that always lost his fucking robe, so he's always naked and shit, and that was just awkward. Same thing with Shredder. You lost that shit all the time. Their capes and their fucking robes and shit just gone all the time. Like naked little fucking troll babies. They just never keep their fucking clothes. But the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I had the clothing, I had book bag. I still remember my big square purple Ninja Turtle book bag with the lime green zippers and shit on it. I loved the fuck out of that, dude. I had so many of the Turtles. Now got my son in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is always a good fucking thing. Love the 2000 series, but the games. The fucking games. Oh man. First, got the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. And got destroyed so many times while I was playing this game. It's just too fucking difficult. I've met people who say, oh yeah, I can go and best that game, it's super easy and shit. And I look up and I'm like, oh yeah? The fuck out of here. That shit is not easy. You have to master that game. And there's just, I don't know how to fucking master. I tried. Oh, I fucking tried. I put in lots of effort, lots of diligent effort and time and focus and training, and just, it never paid off. So I never beat that game. But TMNT 2, TMNT 3, oh, you bet your fucking sweet ass. I owned the shit out of those games. Especially Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. I think that game right there, I got so good at it, I would only get hit a couple times ever from beginning to end. That's how much I ended up mastering the game. I got so good at it. I was just a fucking monster. Went back and played it like last year. Oh man. Not nearly as good. I gotta go and shave off all that rust, fucking SOS pads and shit, and just fucking roll it in. But I was just like, my god, I don't remember sucking this bad at the game, but it's been years. But and if you see the TMNT arcade cabinet, which I just got to play recently, and it was cool because I had the Simpsons arcade game with it as well, and I was like, dude, that's fucking cool as shit. But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Manhattan Project, oh man, it was just such good stuff. It was everything that 2 gave me, but more. Bigger and better. For some reason, I still prefer 2 over 3, though. Maybe it's nostalgia, maybe because it was the first time, it was my cherry popper, you know, but that, I always preferred it just a tad bit more. But Manhattan Project's fucking fantastic. I didn't play Tournament Fighters until Super Nintendo, so I didn't even know that there was an NES version until like fucking years and years and years later. But what else I play? Oh, you know, I mentioned The Simpsons. I played The Simpsons games, never beat any of those. They were all fucking terrifyingly difficult. Just, holy shit, were they fucking tough. I don't even understand why they were as tough as they were. They just... fuck. Like, the only really good Simpsons game I can think of that I love the shit of, let's see, Simpsons Hit and Run, and The Simpsons was the movie, video game. The one was on PS3, 360, and shit. That one I like a lot. It's like a little open world game. Those are good. The ones on NES, those ones suck every single inflated fucking bloated butthole. Ever. So don't go near those things. Just leave them on the side of the road and say, fuck you, I'm going and playing something that's a lot better. But I had so much love for that system, and that was my first foray into gaming. You know, after that, we got a Sega Genesis in the house because my brother got a Sega Genesis, and I remember playing both of them. But it was the NES. That was my very first introduction to gaming. Eventually got to try it arcades. I got the Game Boy, you know, played the shit out of the Game Boy and just loved it so much. How many hours I put into Super Mario Land, I can't even fucking tell you. But then Sega Genesis, and it went on from there, you know, it went on to the PlayStation, went on to Nintendo 64, to PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, you know, and just forward and forward all the way up until today. I'm sitting in a room of games I've built up since 1997. You know, I've been playing video games my entire life. It's something that I love. This entire channel is because I care and love about the industry, and it started with the NES. It started with all those 8 magnificent bits that it meant the world to me. And everybody's got that first, so for you out there, tell your story however you want. If you want to make a video and respond to this, by all means. If you want to put a big fucking paragraph, by all means. If you want to go and fucking share this shit around, please go and do so. That's pretty fucking rad if you do, but I just want to go and share my first experience with NES Zapper, the fucking controller. I was like, this is a great controller. It still is to this day. And many of the franchises and individual titles that meant a lot to me. And there's lots more games on there that I played the shit out of. It's just, I'm not going to go into that insane amount of detail because you already get the idea. But the Nintendo, yeah, that was my very first system. So, anyway. This is AlphaOmegaSin. As always, Nurse Nerd, that's a gamer's game. The fuck on.